Like I think one of the first times we streamed, like you were like mid swear, and I went live. You're like, "Okay, you got to start warning me."
I mean, you do.
All right, I don't have my laptop up right now, so I don't know if the stream's good. If you have it on your
I'm
right,
checking it right now.
but
I do.
all right. Just try to look at some line matching here. I'm actually gonna look at the Predators right now. Hopefully we're live. If we are, what's going on, everyone? How's everyone doing today? Hope
Good
we
afternoon, gents.
hope we had some hefty payouts last night. I'm curious to see the people that I told to make some prop bets if they're going to be here today. Florida. So it looks like Duchesne line went against Panthers 3. Man, what's with these teams imagining their third lines against top lines consistently? So weird.
I think it's more the other way around. Like the home team will look to match their top line against the other team's third line.
Yeah, maybe that's just a viable play. I mean, I'm not a coach in the NHL, so I don't know, but Lamco. So Predators 2 played against Florida 4. Okay. All right. Holy.
All right.
What's up, guys? I got destroyed by DeBrincat and Marner last night. Yeah, friggin' Reimer. I don't know what's going on, but I think Chicago had like 6 power play goals. They had so many power play goals. What's up, Matt? How you doing, man? Oh, Pigling, welcome. Pig Bing. It's so hard to pronounce that name. What's up, Austin? Oh no, Austin is Pig. Nice. Elliott's playing. Last night was disappointing considering we had so many Huberdeau Matthew lineups. Fellas should have done better than break even. Man, that's the thing about Draftkings sometimes is you just need everything to go right. Like, I'm just curious to like, I'm sure Devils, like the one bad part of your lineup was probably your goaltending, right? Goaltending was just an absolute mess last night. Oh, even like Binnington was in one of the most favorable matchups. Like Arizona doesn't have much offense. And I was looking like before the stream just at high danger save percentages, and Binnington was like the highest on the slate yesterday, and he let in 4 goals, or was it 3 in an empty net?
Currently watching all 41 goals from Zibanejad last year, hoping my Backstrom works out and Z can like he did last year. Mike's in a depression right now.
Hey,
from Zib.
Hey, he had a late night assist. Right at the end of the game, empty net. All my goalies were trash. Yeah, every goalie was bad unless you took like Matt Murray or Ranta. It was insane. Like probably the 2 most unfavorable goalies last night. Well, Demko, but who would have guessed Spezza for Hattie? I know. Past the 9K. Yeah, we're just looking into that. But I mean, you could still pair them with Tampa 3, which is what everyone's going to be doing tonight. So. Good thing I picked up Garland before yesterday's game. Yeah, he's been way better than I thought. Where do you think Bauer is going? He's kind of he said he signed with the Mets. Well, Bob Nightingale tweeted that, who's a pretty reliable source. And then it looks like he didn't sign with the Mets. So he's kind of been a loser about it. I'm just happy that the Jays are off of him. And I see Brew in the chat here, so he's probably happy the Yankees are off of him now. He's pulling like the Jimmy Vesey. Do you remember when Jimmy Vesey was a free agent and like was holding off till like a week before training camps because he thought he was gonna get a bunch of money, and then signed with the Rangers for like 2 years, $6 million, but he treated it like he was getting paid like 10 or 12 million, like this high priced free agent.
Yeah, he's bad. Dude.
Now you're getting my text last night. I'm like, what does Vesey do that's good? And we're just watching the game. There's just nothing good.
Yeah.
He's just not a good player.
He's never in the right spots either. Like regardless of his skill set and his hands and his shot and whatever, but it's just his positioning is always bad.
Yeah. Yeah, he's weak. What are the odds Freddie starts this weekend? He should start this weekend. Like Campbell's going to get like what? 35 35%.
Well, he's injured still, right? So the Leafs are probably just going to Freddie for the next 3 games against Vancouver.
Hey guys, my points league has Dvorak, Gallagher, Garland, Hornquist available. Who would you pick up? I would say Gallagher probably. Canadian division, Montreal's hot. Hard to get away from him. Then who would you drop? Vrana, Booch, Rasmus Anderson, Hronek, Ritchie. Probably Hronek.
Yeah, Hronek or Ritchie, one of the two.
Yo, everyone kept asking me about dropping Mike Hoffman. I'm not sure where they're getting that from. Like, I've never mentioned dropping Mike Hoffman. So many people were asking me. But 19 minutes last night, 5 shots, 2 goals. I picked him up in one of my leagues. He was available. He was drafted 90th overall in my league.
He was available in your league?
9th round. He was dropped. So I picked him up yesterday, but I went and looked. They have 3 or 4 postponed games in a row. But I'm like, you know what? I might as well just hold him for now. And just when he's back, he'll have a bunch of games to play. I don't know. I just can't. I was looking. I'm like, I just can't see myself dropping him right now. So Hoffman was playing with ROR and Perron 10 minutes in the third. Really? I'm going to look into that right now, actually.
God, I hope so,
Man,
dude.
Bio has all, like, the awesome insights.
Yeah.
I love it. Even yesterday, he was just, like, hammering out, nope, this is different. This happened. I'm like, okay. Love that. Again, Bio, like, it helps. It just helps us out. So, just those little things. It's the little things you do, Bio. It's not you, it's me.
Hopefully he stays on that first line though. Like I remember we mentioned it in one of the previous shows where we're just like, they need to get this guy going. Like, he's a 30-goal scorer. So
yeah, so Perron, O'Reilly, and Hoffman played 5 minutes 5-on-5, and they had 4 scoring chances for and 0 against. So I think like I guess we don't really know what's happening like internally there. Like, we don't know if Hoffman came into camp overweight, out of shape. Like, there's so many different factors that we don't know as a fan, like, outside looking in. But if he's back to where he was at in Florida, right, where he was playing he wasn't even playing with Huberdeau and Barkov.
Right.
He was playing with Holla and, like, Vetrano or something. And then imagine going to play with ROR and Perron. Like, that's a sick line. So
I don't know what's gonna happen when Tarasenko comes back. I don't know how long he's out for, but I've heard rumors of him like being closer than expected.
I think Kyrou falls to the third line, but even that third line, Kyrou, Thomas, and Blais is really good.
Yeah.
So I think our Tarasenko plays with Shen and Schwartz like healthy. So
it makes sense, right?
But I'm on the Hoffman train. I just think that they need to get him back to NHL form. I feel like he was like lacking physically, or who knows? We don't know what's going on. We don't know if he had COVID, right? If he's
not even on power play 1. There's no way. Not.
But I feel like they're just trying to get him back to that form, and then he'll move up to the top power play unit and just be a force rest of the season. Like, where do we have him rest of the season? Our projections. Oh, I don't have our projections up. Sorry, guys. We'll get into the slate in a second.
He's on the second power play. Wow.
Because I know before the season, like, we had Hoffman as like a top 30 player because he shoots so much.
Yeah, his shot volume's insane. He scores a bunch of goals.
Did I drop his minutes? Yeah, so I dropped his minutes down to 14. So let me up his minutes up to 18, and I'll see where he ranks in our projections. The whole damn world is just as a... So with Hoffman playing 18 minutes a night, we have him as our rank 39 player, guys. So we have him projected rest of the season 20 goals, 20 assists, 147 shots, 15 blocks, and 24 hits. So 20 and 20 for the rest of the season is what we have Hoffman at in our projections. Playing 18 minutes. So keep that in mind for everyone who is low on Hoffman or dropped him. Like, if he was like playing in Florida right now, like that, those would be our projections for him, which is like really good. So, oh, my face is a little off here. All right, so we had a pretty interesting night last night. No one picked Jason Spezza for the hat trick, which is a surprise to me. but you were close. You took the easiest one and went Matthews. I'm sure you're probably gonna go Pasternak tonight, but I don't think anyone hit last night. I think there was just one, but did someone pick Forsberg yesterday? Did we have a Forsberg pick?
Somebody did. I remember it actually. I forget who was that picked him, but I did see his name.
You guys are seeing my Excel sheets now. Everyone knows I love my Excel sheets. Do we have Forsberg? Connor, Trocheck. No, we didn't have a Forsberg yesterday. I thought someone said Forsberg. But we had a couple.
I swear I saw someone.
We had you with Matthews. Logan had Matthews. Jesse had Hornquist. He scored. Marner scored. That was Matt's guess. Christmas also guessed Matthews as well. Or sorry, Marner. Jeff had Simmons. Dude, man, imagine like if you take Simmons, you probably have the same chance at taking Spezza. But who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? There it is. So Corey took Forsberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Mike Swingle had the exact same lineup in cash last night in the $12, and they cashed. $12? So, all right, let's jump into it, guys. So Flyers Bruins. I'm not sure if anyone caught that game, but that was a really good game 2 nights ago. It was 3-1 Flyers at one point, and then Pasternak just went back to Pasternak and decided, well, this game's mine now, and scored 2 goals and set up Bergeron for the 4th goal in overtime. It was pretty sick. So Flyers here, I was just looking at their like expected goals for their lines, and it's all over the place. So they have like these line combinations have been changing every game. I don't know what Vigneault is doing, but I feel like it impacts the team negatively and your chemistry with your line mates if you're consistently changing things up. But again, I'm not a coach in the NHL. That's just my take. So Flyers are just in a really brutal matchup again against a really tough Bruins team. The Bruins defense has been pretty good. They let up a few goals against the Flyers last game. Flyers won here, coming in at a pretty good price at $14.50. From what we're seeing, they don't pair against the Bruins top line, which is the number one thing you're going to want to look for tonight, is who has the really hard matchup against Bruins 1. But it looks like Hayes, Voracek, Giroux is going against Bruins 2, so it is more favorable for that line. I don't mind them at their price tag. I think the value is there. The shot volume's there. We don't actually have the power play right now on this. Should have done that before the stream, but I think they're all power play 1 if you can get that up for me. But yep. Flyers 1, not bad. Flyers 2 also projects pretty well, but they're going against Bruins 1. So there's just no reason for you to touch Flyers 2 tonight. And I know they're going to be the best line just because I'm saying that, but it's just too hard going against the Bergeron, Marchand, Pasternak line. They have been one of the best defensive lines in hockey and the best offensive lines in hockey. So it just doesn't mix well for them. And third line, not touching. And the defense here, there's just nothing I like other than Travis Sanheim. So Sanheim's actually been playing quite a bit of minutes. When I looked last game, he played a decent amount on the power play, but I think they even their power play lines out very similar to what like Vegas does, where they just have and the Leafs, where they have power play 1A and power play 1B. So I'm going to look into Provorov's minutes here on the power play while you talk, but not too much I like from the Flyers side tonight. Just a really tough matchup.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough matchup. And then you have Brian Elliott in goal. He's actually pretty solid in terms of a backup option, but the matchup is difficult against the Bruins, to say the least. As you can see, I just updated the power play stuff there. So it's split across all 3 lines. Like Gustafsson and Ghost are on the second power play unit, with Provorov, the main D, on the first power play unit there. I think if I'm going anywhere, it's probably the Flyers' first line. Voracek has a really good shot volume. Hayes has been really good as of late as well. And like you said, they get that matchup against the Bruins second line. I probably wouldn't touch either the second or the third line unless you just need a filler stack and want to get a little bit contrarian. I think this slate especially definitely has a lot of one-sided matchups, so you're going to have to get creative with your filler stacks. And then outside of that, I probably wouldn't touch a D. Maybe Sanheim for 2,900. I think that's a good price for him. But outside of that, I don't think I'm getting too much of the Flyers tonight.
Yeah, they're not too exciting. It's just, even when I did my analysis on defensive stats, like Boston came in as the #1 defensive team in the NHL. So again, it's not just the Flyers. I think it's any team that matches up against them is just in for a really tough time, and something to note moving forward. But Bruins side here, so the second I said in the 2 streams ago, I think, when McDavid was on the slate, that I have never seen a player at 9K. We now see the second player at 9,000, and it's David Pastrnak, to no surprise. I thought Matthews would be there before him, if anything, but it's Pastrnak. So this line is amazing. They're amazing every night, but they're priced at 25K. So you're going to have a lot of pairings. So if you're 3-3 stacking tonight with the Bruins, expect to have dupes. So expect to see people matching them with the exact same lines, because there's only so many lines you can fit them with if you're not taking 4th lines. So it'll be like Tampa 3, Red Wings 2, and we'll get to some of those good filler stacks tonight, but just be careful what you do if you're going Bruins 1. Like, you're probably better off just going a 3-2-1 stack, or like maybe putting a Nick Ritchie there for the power play 1 correlation, and then just adding maybe 2 one-offs, or 2 players that pair together, like maybe St. Louis 3. No, St. Louis isn't on the slate tonight. Sorry, I was just getting that Mike Hoffman on my mind right now. But just be careful. I think the Bruins are going to have some ownership tonight, and they're just so limited to what you compare them with. Bruins 2, not bad. I like Craig Smith because he's a high volume shooter, has extremely good expected goals forward numbers. It looks like they're going to be pairing against Flyers 1, who have been kind of weak defensively, but Kevin Hayes is their shutdown center right now, so it is going to be kind of a tough matchup. And on the defensive side, I still really like McAvoy at 5,300. He is playing power play 1, plays a ton of minutes, plays like 26 minutes a night. Actually, we have it here, 24, 27 a night, so that's a lot. And the Bruins' top power play is just time and time again, like, unstoppable, no matter who's in net. So definitely give me some McAvoy, and I'm going to have some Bruins 1. It's just going to be a matter of how I want to fit them in my lineups.
Yeah, I don't think Bruins 1 is ever a bad play, no matter what the matchup is. They are always correlating well. They all have power play 1 time. They play a lot of minutes. It's just one of the better DraftKings lines that you could take on any slate. The second line I'm not too crazy about. Like, they're at a good price. I think Krejci now down at 4,600 is good for him, and he gets power play 2 time along with Craig Smith for 3,800. Like, that's a good cheaper line that you can get to. Just in terms of like filler and stuff, I'm probably off the third line altogether. I think there's just better options to go to tonight, even though, like, you could say it's a half decent matchup against the Scott Laughton Joel Farabee line. But Joel Farabee, as of late, apparently he's just the best player in the NHL. So I guess we're kind of eating our words on that one right now. Yeah, I'm still not a fan, but McAvoy has a great price tonight, 5,300. I think that's good, especially with the power play 1. You can see his average time on ice there at 24 minutes is really, really high. So you're getting what you pay for. And a guy that tends to see success when he's playing power play 1, a couple multi-point assist games just by playing on that power play, right? So
yeah.
And then Rask is a good option for 8,200. I think that's a pretty fair price. He's going to see some shots from the Flyers for sure. And he's an elite goalie, so I have all the confidence in the Bruins pulling out the win here.
Yeah, but it's going to be a 6-5 game, and the total is like 5, just because that's what's been happening.
Goalies have been burning us hard lately.
It's just so hard to pick the right goalie now. It was pretty hard last year, I remember, though. Except I remember the one night I had Mackenzie Blackwood at 0.4% ownership because I correlate my goalies. And I think he had a 51 save shutout, the win, and an assist. He had like 55 points.
Mackenzie Blackwood is just insane.
Yeah, that was when
he's so good.
He was really good the second half last year, I remember. All right, Red Wings Lightning. So the Lightning were a minus 310 favorite in the last game when I was looking, which is the second highest I've seen other than last night, where Montreal was a minus 320 favorite against Ottawa and they lost. So Red Wings coming in here as massive underdogs by no surprise. Fabry's back tonight on the top line. He hasn't played yet this year, and he's at 3,900, which is fine. I mean, I'm a Fabry fan. I really liked him when he was playing for the Mississauga Red Devils, I think it was, in midget. He was just like such a stud, but lots of injury problems with him. He still hasn't found his footing in the NHL. Can't see myself getting to too much of the Red Wings 1 tonight. It's just a very unfavorable matchup against a line 3. And Tampa 3 is like one of the top shutdown lines in hockey. Other than like the Greenway, Foligno, Eriksson, Ek line, like they are just nonstop. So really tough matchup here for Wings 1. Wings 2, and I was just talking to you about this, and you kind of had a little chuckle. Out of all the lines on the Lightning, this is like the easiest line to play against. And Mantha's been pretty hot, so I've got a lot of messages about dropping Mantha, but if you guys were in the Discord last night, I posted my teams, and you saw I have Mantha on all 3 of my teams. So
yeah,
I'm staying true to how good I think he is. He's very good offensively. I think if you're looking for a one-off option, like if you're taking Boston and you need like a filler forward, like a 4K Mantha is just not breaking your back. So I don't mind Wings 2 tonight. They're a good filler stack at 9,500. You're just praying, like when you match them with the Bruins, because that's what most people are going to be doing, you're just praying for a goal, like just one full line goal, and you're happy. So if a full line goal, like with one player scoring 2 assists, it's 20 points. So they're instantly 2x value, and that's what you're hoping for. So don't mind Red Wings 2 tonight. And the defensive end, there's just nothing I will ever like, unless Haronic goes down below 4K. But just too hard for me to get to any Red Wings D tonight. And Thomas Greiss, I mean, not the same goalie that he was in the Islanders, and we can expect that going to a pretty brutal Red Wings team. So not much I like here for the Red Wings. Just a tough matchup, man.
Yeah, Grice is my my 10-foot pole tonight, and I think being off the defensive specialist of Barry Trotz and his Islanders team, I think it's kind of shown his true colors as a goalie. But again, that's one extreme to another, because the Red Wings are not good defensively by any means. So I think I like Mantha's price for 4K. I will agree with you there. I'd be more inclined to get to him if he was playing with Larkin, right? And maybe they get on a power play, and maybe they have some good opportunities on the power play against a Lightning team, because it's a power play, right? You never know. So I like the sneaky kind of line 2 play for the Wings there, because they are priced down pretty well. But I think if Mantha was up on the first line, like I said, I'd be more inclined to get to that line. But outside of that, I don't think I'm taking too much Red Wings tonight, especially if you're not doing MME and you're doing cash lineups. It's kind of tough to get to them with a bunch of other good kind of cheap filler options. As you see, we'll talk about that in the next game, because we did mention the Predators earlier before the show. So I think it's a good contrarian play, but I think there's better options tonight.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the game last game. It looks like it was pretty even 5-on-5 actually. The Adam Ernie, Luke Glendening, Darren Helm line had 11 Corsi 4 and 2 again, so that's a Red Wings 4. I mean, I'm not definitely don't go to them tonight, but that was the only like standout between both teams in terms of 5-on-5 play. Like the point line was like even, like dead even, 8-8, 6 scoring chances for, 3 against, which is like it's fine. So, I mean, Red Wings aren't as bad as when I'm looking here, but I mean, they're going against the Lightning. So, all right. Yeah. So Lightning side, Palat, Point, Stammer, they have been really good 5-on-5 this year. They were really good with Kucherov there. I think they were even better with Kucherov instead of Stamkos. But to no surprise, Stamkos is still a really elite player, and he's not someone that you put on a line and makes the line worse. So, all power play 1 correlation. They play a bunch 5-on-5 together. I really like them tonight. They are expensive, but I mean they're playing against the Red Wings, so it's pretty not surprising to me. But definitely like them. They're going to be hard to fit. You're going to have to find those filler stacks and the cheap defensemen to pair them with, and just hope it all hits. Line 2 here, I'm not too excited about. They're not that good 5-on-5. Like they don't really score, so not going to really get to Lightning 2, but Lightning 3 tonight, guys. So this is like the only third line in hockey that actually gets a lot of ownership, like usually around the 5 to 8% range, which is a lot for a third line. But they're 10K. They are extremely good 5-on-5, dating back to last season and in the playoffs. They have great numbers. They're consistently producing chances, and it looks like they're going against Wings 1. So these numbers are on a really small sample size, but from what we know, Fabry Larkin lines are really weak defensively. So Gonna have some Lightning 3 tonight. I just think it's super easy to pair them with like whoever you're taking. So gonna have them. And then on the defensive side, Hedman is priced up, but again, just a really good matchup for him. So I don't mind Hedman. But Ryan McDonough, 4K. You know how much I love my Ryan McDonough. He's playing way more minutes this year. He shoots, he blocks. I just can't see any negative to taking McDonough. Other than that, he was a lot better at 3,400 than 4K. But I'm still fine paying 4K for him. Eric Cernak's a guy I like too, but he played looks like 12 minutes 5-on-5 last game in comparison to McDonough's 16. And then let me get the penalty kill numbers. So yeah, him and McDonough both had 3 minutes of penalty kill time. So Cernak is seeing a fair amount of minutes, but he's someone I want to see go up above the 20 range for a few games, and then I'll get interested in him. And then Vasilevsky here in net. I mean, he's one of the highest favorites I've seen in any night. So if you need a goalie, he's fine, but don't expect high shot volume. You're just taking him for the win.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he only saw 16 shots last game, so it's tough paying that much for a goalie and not getting any shot volume out of him, especially if the Wings manage to score like a goal or two from like a power play or just like a bad matchup or something like that. But line 3 is probably one of two. I like Lightning 3 and I like the St. Louis third line as well.
Yeah.
Just because they're cheap, they have some upside. They have great numbers, like Mike said, dating back to last year. So definitely going to use them to pair with one of the other top end lines tonight. I think the Lightning just have another absolutely one-sided matchup against the Red Wings. The second line, it's a little expensive still. Like I talked about Cirelli being over 5K last time. He's still priced over there. I'd like to see him. Maybe I'll get to him a little bit tonight, but we'll see. It depends on like who I'm kind of pairing them with, because I just think that there's, again, some really kind of clear-cut number one lines to take tonight in a bunch of one-sided matchups, and it's going to be tough to kind of fit that line and get a half-decent defenseman with them. So I think definitely getting to some Lightning 1 tonight. I think it's one of, if not the best plays on the slate. It's probably them and the Bruins. You know what?
We'll get to it.
Yeah. There's one more game I really like, but I like the first line a lot. They've been great, just as a trio altogether, all power play correlated. But most of their goals actually come from 5-on-5. Like you saw last game, all of the Lightning goals were 5-on-5 there. Hedman had one. Even your boy McDonough had a goal, a shot, and a block.
Surprise.
So paid his value there in full. And then I'm off Sergachev. I don't think he just warrants any value at 4,500. He doesn't get the peripherals. He doesn't play power play one time. So I'm probably off Sergachev altogether. And then Cernak for 3,300, like you said, he was really good last year, kind of towards the end of the season where his minutes were up. He was getting a lot of blocks, the odd like shot as well. So I think if that starts to trend on the up, then I'll go back to him. But I like Tampa's one tonight.
So just another thing I want to point out to you guys too, and I think this is an important thing to consider in this game, is that if the Lightning blow out the Red Wings again, and if it's like 4-1 after the first, expect the point line to not play 5-on-5 that much. Like expect them to be rolling the second, third, and fourth line. So I'm just looking at it right now. So last game, Point played 16 minutes, Palat played 15, and where's Stamkos on here? He played 18 minutes. So it looks like once they get the lead, because it's such a favorable matchup, that they're going to go to the third and fourth lines to just eat minutes for the rest of the game. Because there's no point in playing your stars when you're up 5-1, right? So from what we're seeing here is they spread their minutes out a bunch. Even the fourth line, like Maroon had 14 minutes. I'm assuming Matthew Joseph's also on the fourth line with 16 minutes. So from what I'm seeing, it's just like they're going to be rolling their lines once they get up quite a bit. So that's the one thing that's going to kind of get me off the Lightning 1. But again, for them to score 4 goals, Lightning 1 probably is going to score at least 1 or 2, maybe 3. So anyways, moving on. Predators, Panthers. Actually, you know what? I'll answer some questions in chat right now before I move on with this. We got some hat trick predictions. We'll get to that at the end of the stream, guys. Oh, no, we don't have too many questions today. Finally dropped Spurgeon. Do you still have him? I actually dropped Spurgeon too. Sucks, but all right, not too many questions here, so we'll move on. What's going on, Logan?
What's up, Logan?
All right, so Predators Panthers. 11 goals last night. Holy, that was just a mess of a game. If you didn't have them, you probably didn't come in the top 100 of any contest. I said last stream that I really liked Panthers power play, and we'll get to that. But Predators won, so I thought they were going to be really high owned last game, and like I like them, but I'm like, do I really want to be pairing a 25% owned line with the Matthews line? Because in all my entries last night, I took Leafs one. I just thought it was way too good of a matchup, and it paid off. But I just think that I thought the Predators were going to be super high owned, but man, they are priced very, very favorably tonight, and they're going against Panthers 3, so that's who they faced off against the entire game last game. Favorable matchup for them, not going against the crazy defensive center in Barkov, and that line has shown they've been good defensively. So I love Predators 1 tonight. They're just priced down way too much for me. But another thing to be cautious of is just like the recency bias, right? Because they had, I think Forsberg had like 50 fantasy points last game. So people are going to be on them tonight. I'm kind of sad I missed out on the train, but I'm still gonna get some of them. It's just hard for me to shy away from a line that's that good 5-on-5, and they're just priced way too good for me. Second line, not too excited about. They went against Florida 4, so I don't know what's happening in these matchups right now. It's kind of confusing, but don't really like Predators 2 that much. Defensive end, Yossi, 6,100. You guys saw, finally, a goal, 5 shots, 2 blocks. That's what we've been talking about in every stream, that you just can't go wrong taking Roman Yossi. Even if he's gone the 20 games straight without a point, I'm still taking Roman Yossi. So Matthias Ekholm too, you were on him big time last game. He did very good. He had about 20 fantasy points, so paid off huge value there. Definitely like Ekholm in every night. He just plays so many minutes. And then the goalies here, no thank you. Just no thank you.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. Daily Faceoff has Rene as the potential goalie, but I think it's going to be Saros, especially because Rene played last game, or he started last game.
Yeah, they
split.
Got
pulled, I believe.
They split.
Yeah,
Saros got pulled.
Oh, it was Saros that got pulled.
Yeah, let up 5 goals on 24 shots.
Okay, I thought it was the other way around. So I think it'll probably be Rene then tonight. Regardless, I don't think I'm taking a goalie from this game. Roman Yossi, our boy, finally paid off, 6,100. It doesn't matter the price. I'm taking him every time he's on the slate, if he's going to put up numbers like that. So Ekholm as well. I'm glad he got his value
8
last
shots
game.
and an assist. Oof.
Yeah, like he's a stud too for those peripherals. Even Ellis got in on it as well. I believe he had an assist and some blocks. I believe
2 shots and a block.
Yeah. Preds won, like you said, they're cheap. Nobody knows why they're this cheap, but they are this cheap. Everybody's going to be pairing them with other lines tonight. They should be, like you said, very high owned. But it's tough, right? Because recency bias. It looks like it's going to be another high scoring game, especially with the goalies that are in net tonight as well. But other than that, maybe you switch it up a little bit and go to the second line. Get a little bit contrarian here, and just get off of that ownership train on the first line, because I think Florida's shown, similar to last year, that they're pretty bad defensively, or just as bad as they were last year. And the Preds have also struggled defensively, so this could be another high scoring game. All signs kind of point towards it. The only line I wouldn't touch is the third line. I just don't think there's any type of there's any reason to get to that line. The first line is just cheap enough as it is. So give me some Preds 1 and some Preds 2 tonight.
Yep. So I just got a question here in chat. What happens with postponed games? Oh, I have to sign into chat. Come on. I just found an article where it shows where all the rescheduled games are being played. And you guys are going to hear me talk about that in my buy low, sell high video today. Just really, really smart to trade for players that have postponed games right now. And I'll explain it in my video tonight. All right. Panthers, Verhaeghe, Barkov, Duclair, they have been a pleasant surprise 5-on-5 this year. 3.02 expected goals for. Going to go back to them tonight. I just think they're still priced pretty favorably. They're going to score some goals. The Predators have just shown time and time again that they're just bad defensively. So although they have really skilled defensemen, I just think that it's too hard to defend constant 3-on-2s if your forwards just aren't playing good defense. So Huberdeau, Wennberg, Hornquist, I mean, I'm just not too big of a fan of that line, and I haven't been this year at all. I think the best way to play it, and I said this last night, is just doing Panthers power play stack. The Predators, they just can't defend on the power play. It's unbelievable. I've never seen it this bad. I'm going to pull their numbers up right now quickly, but I've never seen a team give up so many power play goals. So let me pull it up right here. They're probably first in the league. So Nashville in 10 games have given up 15 power play goals. They're first in the league. So every 4 minutes on the power play, on the penalty kill, they give up a goal. And I think it's just a favorable matchup for the Panthers tonight. You can definitely pair them with Aaron Ekblad on D if you need to make your power play stack a little bit more contrarian. I feel like he's not getting any ownership at that price, especially with Yossi at 6,100. So I really like the Panthers. I like the Panthers power play tonight. And Chris Driedger, I don't mind. I just think the Predators are not very good offensively at all. But the Panthers are poor defensively. But I mean, we can't just say that we don't like every goalie tonight. Goalies are just such a mystery in this league, man. Like, these games are just like so high scoring, I feel like, every night. So you kind of just got to close your eyes and pick your goalies.
Honestly, it's getting to that point where I'm just going to set up a dartboard and just kind of lob darts and see who it lands on for my goalies. It's so hard to kind of, you think one matchup's going one way, and then the issue is really the price, right? Like, that Tampa is super favored against the Red Wings, but Vass is 8,500 and he's hard to get to when you're pairing your lineups. So, but in terms of the Panthers, I like both the first and second lines. I just think that the second line is going to see a lot of ownership tonight, with Huberdeau absolutely going off last night. Same thing with Hornquist. For some reason, Hornquist is priced higher than Huberdeau. I don't know about that one, Draftkings, but that line's going to be pretty high owned. They are on the cheaper end as well. And I like Barkov's first line there just because of the 5-on-5 numbers. I typically try and lean a little bit more towards the 5-on-5 numbers versus the power play stuff. But Mike's right. Absolutely bang on. The Preds are brutal on the penalty kill, and he was bang on with the call yesterday as well. So shout out to you for that one. The Panthers power play absolutely went off. Ekblad got a goal, Yana with a couple assists as well. So definitely, that's a great option to go to tonight if you can fit that all together. It's just, again, Hornquist price is an anomaly to me. Other than that, Ekblad at 6,500, that is expensive for Aaron Ekblad, but it's an ownership play. Like Mike said, nobody's really going to be looking at him when you've got a guy like Yossi who had 5 shots, a couple blocks in the goal for 6,100, right? So if you're trying to get a little bit off the board there, that's definitely a good play to go. Even Yandel, the only problem with Yandel is he doesn't play too much outside of the power play, but like if you're getting 2 or 3 power play goals a night against a really bad team on the penalty kill, then he could warrant some value there. But he is he's so expensive.
Yeah, he played 18 minutes yesterday. Had an assist, a shot, and a block. And then Ekblad played 27 minutes last night. So
yeah, so I have a 50-foot pole. Pekarine's at one end of the pole, and Chris Driedger's at the other end of the pole. So,
but one of them's going to be the highest scoring goalie somehow tonight. Don't know how, but
absolutely.
Trade Malkin for Horvat and Rust in a points league. If you're getting Horvat and Rust, I think that's a fair trade. That's fine, because Horvat's in the Canadian division. So, if you had to take one tonight, who would it be? Mark Stone or Pacioretty? Ma, do you have shots on goal as a pretty important category? Because I would take Stone if it's just points, but if there's shots, definitely Pacioretty, because he is just a maniac. Arizona win. Yeah, the Arizona win was a joke last night. Ugh, don't even want to get into that. All right. Kings Golden Knights. Welcome back, Vegas, to the NHL. We're happy to see you guys here. I know we're happy about it. Kings, just a tough matchup against the Golden Knights. Vegas is really, really strong defensively. They have tons of depth. I just can't see the Kings doing much in this game at all. It's going to be pretty low event, in my opinion, from the Kings side anyways. But I think if you're going to go anywhere, like if you're actually interested in the Kings tonight, you're probably going to have to take the first line. They're just the only line that really does anything on this team. I know we see star forward Mike Amadio over in the second line there. So if you wanted to go for a stud punt centerman, there you go. Just kidding, guys. Don't listen to me. Don't take the second line. Defense here. I mean, if you want to get an ownership play, Doughty's fine at 6K. He plays so many minutes, shoots, blocks. He's fine. But again, it's just going to be the theme for the entire year. The Kings just are not an exciting team for DraftKings at all.
Yeah, honestly, it doesn't matter what line it is. The first line, I will give them credit. They've been better than I expected. Kopitar is doing well off the start here. But I never want to get to a line with Dustin Brown on it for 3,500. Even if they super well together, it's just it kind of upsets me taking Dustin Brown in any DraftKings lineup. But outside of my own personal bias, I think the Kings one have been the only line that's really producing for the Kings this year. But Jeff Carter at 4,500 and that second line is just, there's not a lot of upside for me really. Same with the third line. Like there's really no reason to take it. They
You're not
don't have
taking
any
Martin
crazy
Furk?
expecting. I'm not taking Martin Furk,
What?
believe it or not, tonight, Mike. I know. But Doughty, even for 6K, I think, regardless of his time on ice there, it's a tough matchup against the Golden Knights tonight. But, of course, now that I've said that, Doughty's going to get like 5 shots, block bonus, and a couple points. And Jonathan Quick, I probably wouldn't look too much into either. And again, a favorable matchup for Vegas.
Not sure what's wrong with Martin Furk. He had 6 goals in 17 games last year. 26 shots.
He's also listed on IR on Daily Faceoff, so
perfect. All right,
you should definitely take him.
Yeah. All right, Golden Knights side. So this is the other team we wanted to mention that we really like all the time. They are very, very, very good 5-on-5, dating back to last year. Like time and time again, they're just producing so many scoring chances. I think Pietrangelo is out tonight, so that's something to keep in mind. I don't think it hurts them too much. Theodore is a very competent number 1 defenseman, so don't mind that at all. But Vegas 1, they always come in extremely under-owned, especially Chandler Stevenson, who I know has not done much this year, and I get it. But this line is producing chances at like one of the best rates I've ever seen. So you can definitely full stack them if you want. If you want to leave Stevenson out, by all means. I did a correlation analysis, and Stone and Pacioretty were one of the highest correlated players in the league, at about 46% or 47% I calculated, which means that if one of them scores or one of them has a really good night, there's a really good chance that the other one also does. So definitely be pairing Stone with Pacioretty. Pacioretty is one of the highest shot volume players in the league. He's a poor man's McKinnon, is something that I've always preached. Someone that takes like 300 shots a year. It's absolutely crazy. Second line here, again, they're always just a super good value play. They're very affordable. Playing against Kings depth tonight, I'm not sure what the matchings are going to be, but I'm sure Vegas doesn't need to really worry about hard matching with their depth, especially against the Kings tonight. But Golden Knights too, they've been great 5-on-5, 3.31 expected goals for. That's what we like to see. And no one's over 5K. So if you're looking for a solid depth line to pair with your other top lines, definitely can't go wrong with Golden Knights too. One solid one-off forward play here is Alexander Tuch. So if you go Stone Pacioretty, you can definitely take Tuch as well if you're looking to just get different in your lineups. So don't mind that. And I love Theodore tonight. He is the number 1 defenseman right now for shot attempts for. He is shooting. He's attempting 8 shots per game, which is almost 2 more shots higher than the second defenseman in the league. So Theodore is he's been like a forward this year. It's crazy. If you watch some of the games, like this guy is just something else. Like I just wish they didn't sign Pietrangelo, and I just would love to see him in like that clear number 1 role, which they've done a good job at mixing up because he plays a fair amount of minutes. He's on the power play. They split their power play up evenly. So, and then Robin Lehner here in net is probably the best goalie tonight. For anyone that's in here that's been asking me about Leonard and if you should drop Leonard. Like, if you're looking to drop Leonard, like, you need to just rethink that strategy a little bit. He is probably, if not the best goalie this year. Vegas is in one of the easiest divisions, and they are an absolute powerhouse. It's just crazy to see like the amount of messages of people asking me about what should I do with Leonard. But he's a Vezina goalie. He's like probably top 5 in the league, and he's on a top 2 team in the league. So can never ever go wrong with Robin Leonard.
Yeah, Leonard was actually somebody that I reached pretty hard on in our draft, Mike. I just thought that it was a slam dunk play, absolutely. And I know his save percentage is low right now at just a .885, but that number is going to go up. And I would not be worried. I would not even consider trading this guy. Like you said, I think he's he's going to get you so many wins the rest of the season. And that save percentage will go up and those goals against will go down. So I love Leonard. I think he's a great play, especially in DraftKings against a Kings team that likes to shoot the puck. So I think 8,400, you nailed it right on there. He's probably the best goalie play tonight. He's safe. It's a good matchup. He's going to see a lot of shots. So I like Leonard tonight for his price. And our boy Shea Theodore, somebody that we were super hyped at the end of the season last year before they got Petro. Like, man, this guy's just an absolute stud. And I really like him tonight, like you said, especially because Petro's injured. I'm so curious if he just absolutely explodes this game. Maybe he just solidifies that top power play unit just for himself. But we do see Cody Glass move up to the first power play unit. So that's with Stone, Carlson, and Pacioretty. So I actually really like Vegas 3 as well. And I lied to you earlier saying that only St. Louis and and Tampa 3 were my two filler lines. It's hard. Words are hard today. I like Friday. Vegas 3. Tuck is a great option. Cody Glass 2, especially if he's getting power play 1 time tonight, filling in for Petro's absence there. And line 2 is always a good value play. We haven't seen them quite explode like they were last year, but hoping that happens one of these nights when they're priced down like this, and we just use them as a nice filler. And then Vegas 1 just doesn't need any introduction at this point. They are the best, the best, statistically speaking, line for expected goals in the NHL. So they are always, like you said, they're kind of always under owns. You'll probably see Tampa and Boston get a lot of ownership tonight. Yeah. But I think Vegas is a really good play tonight as well.
This is a really good ownership play too if you want to just get away from the field. Like, I mean, we don't have ownership numbers. They're really hard to project. But if you look at the matchups, like Predators, Panthers had 11 goals in their last game. So they're going to be high owned. Lightning had 5, and they're against the Wings. So they're going to have a bunch of ownership. And then Boston 1 is up, just Boston 1. So this could be a kind of a sneaky play. So Ben, just to answer your question about Fleury splitting time, every goalie this year is going to be splitting time, especially with these condensed schedules and the postponed games. Like, there's going to be a lot of back-to-backs for a lot of teams. And the good thing about the Golden Knights is they have 2 competent goalies. So although he will take probably a 45% share in the starts, I mean, Leonard's in line to get a win every night. Like, the Golden Knights are that good. Like, if the Golden Knights might end the season with maybe like 10 losses, and I don't think that's out of the question. So, I mean, although Fleury will take starts away, it's just Leonard is such an elite goalie on such an elite team. So that's all I have to say to that is, no matter what goalie you have, they're going to be splitting time. Some goalies might be 70-30 split, and that just means the backup's not there. And with like Jacob Markstrom, for example, is going to be a 70-30 split goaltender because Riddick is kind of irrelevant in net. But I think even if you get Leonard at 55% starts, he's going to pay off huge value for you. That's my take on the goaltending situation. There's not many goalies that are going to be playing over 70%. All right, Sharks, Ducks, welcome back to the NHL, San Jose Sharks. Hopefully, Evander Kane. Oh, it's Fleury starting tonight? Can we confirm that?
I'm going to check.
Even if it is Fleury, like, it's still such a favorable matchup.
I'll actually be upset if Fleury starts.
Would you trade
Just 'cause
Teravainen for Samsonov and Vanacek? Is it like a points league, Wendell? Wendell, I think the one thing about your league, like Clarky Wendell's league, like he messages me, and people are offering like Steven Stamkos for James Reimer, or like Zib for Reimer. Like I don't get it. Like Reimer's a waiver pickup, and those two guys are like first, second round picks. Can we get any confirmation on Fleury? Is it Fleury?
Yeah, I don't see any confirmation on who's starting. Nothing on Daily Faceoff. Nothing from any of the beat writers that I just quickly looked at. Everything is unconfirmed, but the only guy I'm seeing that's expected is Robin Lehner. So.
Oh yeah, I know it is Fleury tonight. First beat writer.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, first beat writer. Marc-Andre Fleury is the first goalie off the ice. So it was 20 minutes ago. No worries. All right.
Okay.
Sharks, Ducks. Don't really know what to do with this game, man. Like, the Ducks are just like a weird team. They are very bad offensively, and they have a really, really good goaltender. So it's just such a weird matchup to me right now. But Sharks won look pretty good. They played quite a bit last season. They had a 2.61 expected goals for, which is fair. But I'm not sure if I want to pay 15-6 for them against Gibson right now. I don't know. It's just, I'm going to have to put it into the optimizer and see what it comes out. But it's just such a weird matchup for me. Line 2, again, like it's just, Hurdle's never played with Donato or Marlowe before. So I don't know if there's going to be any chemistry there. I don't know what the coach is going to do in terms of mixing the lines up, if that happens throughout the game. But the only bright spot here, I guess, is Brent Burns on D at 7K. If you need to pay up defenseman and you're trying to get away a little bit from the ownership, he's always super low owned. And he's the number one peripheral guy in the league. So he probably has the highest floor out of any defenseman. Maybe Yossi has a little bit higher. But Burns is a guy that just shoots at a really crazy rate. He blocks shots. He plays so many minutes. So if you're really looking for an ownership play on D, Burns is your guy. But I just can't see myself getting into that much in this game.
Yeah, my only point here with the Sharks is that it's an ownership play. I think that that first line can definitely score goals, but John Gibson is in net tonight, so that's definitely something that kind of keeps me away from any of the Sharks lines. Gibson's just been absolutely phenomenal as of late, so but it is an ownership play, right? So you kind of have to spread your ownership out. You can't just take a lot of Tampa and Bruins and Vegas and then call it a night, right? So I don't think it's the worst in terms of like an ownership play. Like they're all power play correlated, right? So it'll definitely pay off if they go like under like 10% owned, I think.
Which they should.
Other than that, yeah, realistically they should. In a, like I said, this slate is just a bunch of one-sided matchups.
Yeah.
But other than that, just Burns and Karlsson are always good options for D. Play a lot of minutes, shoot a lot, block a lot, good peripheral players. Burns' shot rate is just ridiculous, as always. And then Vlasic at 3K, just based on his time on ice, I don't know how his peripherals are.
He blocks.
Okay, so as a punty, that's not your worst option either. I don't know what the Ducks' shot volume is. I think it's pretty low.
Yeah, their
Martin
offense
Jones
is just a mess.
Yeah, Martin Jones probably isn't a good pick for goaltending tonight either, just because he's shaky to begin with, and then you add a team that doesn't shoot a lot either. So the Sharks, outside of the first line, I think, and Burns and Karlsson are just a tough play.
So the Sharks have 250 shots in 8 games, so not bad. Can't really do that math in my head right now. It's about 30 shots a game. Yeah, 8 times 3 is 24. Yeah, about 30, over 30 shots a game. So that's pretty good for Gibson. Where's Anaheim? Anaheim. They're at the bottom for sure somewhere. They have.
I'll never forget the one night because they were playing Arizona and they had like 14 shots.
Yeah, they average like 23 shots a game right now, which is like peanuts. So definitely not something you want for your goalies. Duck side here. So again, their lines are just an absolute mess right now. Like I want to see Henrique centering Heinen and Silverberg. Hopefully we see BioArmor. tell me that I'm wrong with these lines, but this is what I made this morning. This is what I saw on Daily Faceoff. Henrique gets left Terry. Just nothing really to like about this line. The only things that the Sharks are pretty bad defensively. Not pretty bad. They're really bad defensively. So, but I think if I'm going anywhere tonight, it's going to be Ducks 2. They're really, really cheap, under 10K. And they have pretty good 5-on-5 numbers. Silverberg and Heinen lines have been exceptional 5-on-5. And I watched a little bit of the Ducks game last game, and they were like the only standouts. And I kind of see you grinning here. I think it's because I'm going to be talking about Raquel in 1 second. But is Rickard Raquel not the same as Oliver Bjorkstrand, where he's the best player on your team and they're just hiding him? Like, I'm so happy that Bjorkstrand had a goal and assist yesterday on the 4th line. But man, why is Troy Terry on the top line and why is Rickard Raquel on the 3rd line? Like, this is just gonna move Rickard Raquel up, please. But again, I think Raquel is a pretty good one-off play. Again, if you're trying to get different in your lineups with Boston 1 and you need someone that is shooting a lot, Raquel is one of the highest volume shooters right now in the league, which I tried to dig into and I just couldn't find anything that was telling me like why he was shooting so high. But when he had his big 70-point season, Raquel, he was shooting at this rate. So I'm not saying he's going back to that, but definitely some positive correlation there between his shot volume and his point production. Defensive side, not too much I like here. I just think the Ducks are a very poor offensive team, so it's going to be hard for them to generate much. But if you're going anywhere, I don't mind Shattenkirk and Lindholm. They just play a ton of minutes. I think they're both power play 1 or Lindholm's power play 1. So that's pretty good for the Ducks. And then Gibson, 7,800. He's under 8K. He's just such a good goalie on such a bad team. But going to be hard for me not to get to Gibson tonight.
Yeah, we actually talked about the Ducks a little bit. I think it was prior to yesterday's stream, and how Gibson is just such an elite goalie, and they're just not an elite team outside of Gibson. So I think that would be a pretty good podcast discussion for a future podcast potentially.
Where Gibson's going to go?
Where he should go, or where, in your case, Raquel should go, or... Yeah, I think the Ducks are definitely tough to get to tonight, just in terms of like their absolute blender lines. But I think the second line you said, Heinen and Silverberg had really good expected goals for.
So
and
I'll
they
tell
are
you right
cheap,
now,
right?
What would I have here? So Heinen, Steele, Silverberg last game had 19 Corsi for, 6 against. Raquel, Lundstrom, Comtois had 12 Corsi for and 0 against. And Henrique, Getzlaf, Terry had 13 Corsi for and 5 against. So they actually were like really, really good, these 3 lines. So continue. Wow. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but
no, I'm always curious to hear the expected goal stats and stuff, just because like you look at those lines and you wouldn't think that they would be good analytically, but I guess the Ducks have found something that works for them. I don't have that sample size that I'm looking for in terms of like, okay, I want to get to this line because of their crazy expected goals for, right? So it's going to be tough. I think the best play here is John Gibson. I think if you want to be contrarian, you can take that second line. But until I see something a little bit more concrete, I'm going to be off the Ducks, just because they don't shoot the puck enough for me. So it's tough to warrant any kind of offensive upside from these lines.
Yeah, like these lines only have about 10 minutes. Like last game was our only sample together, so it's hard for me to. I'm putting these numbers up, but there's nothing really set in stone. But it looks like they absolutely worked the Ducks or the Kings like bad 5-on-5, like at 65 Corsi for and 23 against as a team, which is like insane. They had 38 scoring chances, the Ducks.
Wow.
And it was a 3-1 game. So
yeah. I'd love to see like a larger sample size, right?
Me too.
Especially because the Sharks are going to be pretty bad defensively.
Yeah.
So those numbers might be a little bit inflated, but
and another thing,
just something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, another thing to point out here is that Raquel, Getzlaf, and Silverberg are all in power play 1, and they're all on different lines. So.
Oh my god.
Why couldn't they just help us out as DraftKings players and just give us what we want.
It feels like Tortorella's coaching this team.
All right, we have a couple questions here now. Just looking at Wendell's. You have Binnington and Reimer. Yeah, you can keep those goalies. You don't need to move players for another goalie in that league. Does Philly bounce back tonight? I mean, they played pretty good last game. It was an OT loss. It's not like it was like a 5-0 loss. But,
Brian Elliott in net though. Yeah. That's kind of the only thing.
I think Boston's the favorite in this game. I have 8 guys out right now due to COVID. Me too, man. I have so many players on my team. What's up, boys? What's up, Mark? Mike, could you keep it down? I'm trying to nap upstairs. Hey, back off. Oh, that's Miggs for sure. Gavrikov is his last name. What's a better pickup, Dobson or Dahan? Dobson for me.
Yes. Unless your league counts shots and blocks, then I think it's Dahan.
Yeah, trade Malcolm for Horvat and Russ. That's fine. You can do that trade. Raquel, definitely not a third line guy. Oh, there's Cam. No.
Not sure what goalie to pick. Neither do.
Take Jake Allen, Cam. Okay, Miggs, you got to stop. Oh my God, man.
Well, for Ekblad, probably not.
I'm keeping Hall.
Yeah.
Ellis or Anderson? Probably Ellis. Anderson's more of just a waiver wire guy. Need help. Pick center. Need face-off wins. Oh, man, I'm so bad with face-off wins. Getzlaf, Lott, and Stevenson are some available. Trying to get 2 starts from a team playing twice. I would say probably Stevenson. And my reason for this is that Vegas has only played 7 games. So that means Stevenson's going to have a pretty lengthy schedule moving forward. So don't mind that. Hey, guys, should I pick up Voracek or Slavin in a Cats league? Slavin for me. I love Slavin. I think Slavin's so good. I don't think Voracek's good.
Yeah, he was... His shot volume's pretty high. That's the only thing with Voracek. I think outside of that, like if you need a D, obviously Slavin, but...
Is Voracek really that high?
It's pretty high. It's not like patch ready numbers or anything, but...
Yeah, it's decent. He's averaging less than 2 shots a game. It's not that high, actually. Get your facts straight.
I'm looking up his numbers right now, okay? You know what?
Drop Talbot for Reimer or keep Talbot. You can keep Talbot. But, I mean, you could pick up Reimer because Talbot won't be playing for another week. So, Kapanen or Nick Ritchie? Nick Ritchie for me. Power play 1. All right, Clarky. Favorite 2 lines tonight. I was going to say flavor it. We'll go with that. Flavor it 2 lines.
Just on the Voracek thing, in 7 of his last 8 seasons, he's had over 210 shots. So that's all I'm saying. My favorite 2 lines tonight, however, definitely Tampa 1. I think they're just so hard to get away from. And I'm going to go off the board a little bit. And I'm going to say Panthers 1.
All right. I like it. For me tonight, I think this is going to be a little different, but actually, you know what? I was going to say Panthers power play as my favorite line.
Oh.
But that'll be just like my favorite power play stack. We'll leave it at that. Favorite line tonight, Golden Knights 1 and Ducks 2. Give me some Ducks at like 1% ownership tonight. I hope. Mets gave Bauer a deadline. Yeah, I saw that.
I can't believe you said Ducks too.
Favorite, yeah. This is the Ducks night for me. Favorite high-priced defenseman and favorite, we'll say value defenseman. We'll go with.
My favorite high-priced defenseman tonight.
Me too.
Is
next.
Yeah.
Next.
My favorite value defenseman is my boy Matthias Ekholm.
Nice. I like that.
Is it Matthias or Matthias?
I think it's Matthias. I'm gonna go with my boy Mackenzie Weegar.
Oh
man, he's good. He plays so many minutes. Like he's playing 24 minutes at that price range. Like I'm, like even if he averaged like 1.5 shots and 1 block a game, I'm still happy that he's playing 24 minutes a night. Like the Panthers score 5 goals and you're on for half the game. Like there's a pretty good chance you're going to be part of at least one of the 5 goals.
What are his peripherals like?
I think good. Like I think he actually had a good amount of shots and blocks last season and hits.
Yeah, his minutes are consistently high. He kind of seems like a ghost minutes guy to me though. You know, like
he's better in hits leagues.
It could have been just like he was solid last season, but who knows? Maybe he'll get his peripherals
24
up there.
minutes is crazy high.
Yeah, he definitely plays a lot.
But we'll see. So everyone, you know what the question is today. So no one hit it last night. Hat-trick predictions for tonight. We'll let everyone. We have a couple people saying Braden Point already, but everyone get their hat-trick predictions in for tonight, and then we'll think of ours. I said Zib for like the 3rd time, and I was wrong again. So.
Dude, it's just so tough to get off that Zib train.
Yeah.
He was just so dominant at the end of last season.
High school never ends. Stamkos. Oh
Mark
no,
Stone.
Duncan took mine.
Willie Karlsson.
Okay, I'll just show you guys the Excel sheet while I do. I didn't want to, but. Okay, so that's Miggs. Not even give him one. Duncan with Mark Stone. Kyle. Willie Karlsson. I like that. That's a little off the board. I was 1 goal off. Yeah, you guys were close. So Logan is also going Stammer because he's on your fantasy team. Sometimes you just got to bet against the people in your fantasy team. Lon, Exu. Barkov. Bio. The Mark Stone. So 2 Mark Stones. That's who I want to take, but Devils. I like Devils always goes off the board. Like it always has like a sneaky pick where you look at it, you're like, that's actually not bad.
Frank Vetrano.
High shot volume guy. Really good expected numbers. Okay, you guys are all taking all the Vegas players away. Wendell with patches too. We had a couple Braden Point picks, but those are far back. Oh, Marchand. I like that one too.
Mitchell, I think if you're struggling for points, especially for defensemen, I wouldn't trade Hedman. He's always gonna get points there playing on that first power play as well.
Is no one saying Pasternak, or you guys just don't want to say him because he's too obvious?
A channel goes with Sorelli for the hat trick.
Dude, no way. Stevenson. What a name. That name is legendary.
Dude, imagine you pick Chandler Stevenson for the hat trick though.
Yeah. All right.
Went with Kaloran instead.
Who's yours? David Pasternak?
No, it's not David Pasternak. For me, it is Steven Stamkos tonight.
3rd, Steven Stamkos.
Yeah.
All right. My hat trick pick for tonight is, are you guys ready for this? Blake Coleman.
What? Okay, going well off the board. I like that pick though. He's a good shooter.
I just think that Tampa's gonna like get up and need to roll lines, and then that Coleman line's just gonna abuse Detroit for the time he's playing. Other than that, guys, thanks for another good stream. Appreciate everyone tuning in again today. Yeah, like Bio said, no one said Mantha. Watch him get it. But I hope someone hits tonight. That'd be pretty hype. If you guys aren't following our Twitter, head over there at fantasy_puck. We'll tweet all updated lines. Tweet any major goalie starts that are to a surprise. Like if Leonard ends up starting tonight, we'll be tweeting it. We also have some pretty cool stats on there if you guys are interested in that. Expected goals for, leaders and specific stats. That's something you might not be aware of. that maybe your players on your team will help justify why you should keep them or maybe why you should trade them. If you guys aren't in the Discord already, definitely get in the Discord. It's been pretty awesome in there. A lot of good talk. Me and a channel and Don were talking about baseball for quite a long time last night. It was pretty fun. But definitely head over to our Discord. If you guys want access to our sheet, our projections, our season-long projections, our awesome trade analyzer that we just completed, where you can put in 2 players that you're thinking of trading, and it'll tell you which side wins. We'll kind of save you some time. So that's all available on our Patreon if you want to support us as content creators. That's just one simple way to do it. If you haven't liked the video already, leave a like. If you haven't subscribed, if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. We have a great video coming out tonight, and we'll be streaming almost daily. So any closing words, my friend?
Yeah, guys, let's get the likes up. Leave a like before you head out. We were up around 50 yesterday, and we've got 15. So let's get that ratio up right there. Thanks again to Mike for having me on. Love doing this. Love chatting with you guys. Love talking hockey with you guys. So definitely thank you to him. And again, get into Discord if you guys aren't already. It's the best way to reach Mike and I. Just give us a little @ in one of the channels, whether it's DraftKings related, whether it's season-long fantasy related. We are always there to answer your questions. And yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out today. And we'll probably see you guys tomorrow, right? It's only like 4 or 5 games, but it's some good matchups tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, we'll stream it. All right, guys. Thanks for everything today.